Today, we exterminate every single ice beast in this wasteland. Also, hi Zobit. Hi Shmuef. Oh, Jesus. Nope. Wonder where I can get prism stones. I mean, good that you're sleeping early. I've been alright. I've had some good days lately. My parents got the first of 2 shots for the vaccine, so that's a massive stress off their minds, which also relieves the whole household.
You've been well.
No, you don't have prism either. As I mentioned though, I've been playing pretty much just Warframe in my free time. Yeah, it is good for us. And there was the one day that I made like 30 bucks worth of the in-game currency in one day of trading, which was pretty good.
You need up?
You don't have prism stones. Do you have prism stones?
Come. What?
No, you don't have prism stones. Who has prism stones?
It seems. Why now? Just because.
You have prism stones. I don't know if 25... You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I'm farming a lot of stuff. 25k is fine.
It seems that. Why
In the long run. In the long run. There's 2 big items I missed in this spot. In this place. This horrible, wretched place. And rather than suicide run to those items, I will clear a path. So, if anything to talk about that's not the game, that'd be good, because it's just gonna be waiting in blizzards at least half the time. I killed some last night. I'm not sure how many respawns they have left. I guess how's your life been, Sobit? Alright, this is what I want prism stones for. Get placed a bit in front of me. I can stand on one, place the next, then make a line to where I want to go. I've never heard of phasmophobia. Huh. Not on this path. It's a fairly long line. Yeah, the other... I was trying to go from that side, and I got 2 prism stones in before I hit a spawn. So... there's a spawn. Fuck these things. Fuck these things with a big fuck you stick. That's quite unfortunate. I still get episodes, but it's mild, I guess. It's like I lose the motivation to, I guess, better myself or move forwards. I don't start feeling hopeless, though. Yes. Okay. See, the issue is there's kind of like 2 or 3 spawns near this on that route. And you saw them come from different angles. That's why I will never fight 2 of these things at the same time. So if we get 2, we feather out. I mean, I've been a bit stressed, mostly because of the stress from my parents. Because on top of being worried about the plague, they're also still worried about bills, which was the case before the plague, but now even more so, because they can't really work. Not so much for not... oh, I used up all my stamina. Not so much the not working part, just the not having an income part. And I'm still having a lot of trouble finding a job. It seems like now things might get better now that the vaccine's being distributed, at least in my state. I mean, there is an... it's a first stage interview, but still an interview that I think I'll have on the 29th. Cool. I can't say I fully understand everything you've just said in that paragraph, but at least get the tone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I've been thinking about just like popping into your... but oh, didn't dodge in time. I'm thinking about just popping into your voice chats. Oh, well, welcome back, Schmiff. Say hello to the person that I've been an unofficial therapist to. I don't know if I should use heal or not. Oh yeah, just for reference, Wiki recommends Twin Blade because you can stun lock them with it. Stone Ring, just for extra guarantee stun lock. Complete physical reduction, because fuck that charge. And the rest is whatever. Oh, and then Prism Stones, so that way I can mark a path, because I can see those even in a blizzard. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. If you're... I'm still kind of split on telling people to download Warframe. I know you've been on the fence for a while, but, like, it's fine at the beginning. It really is. It's a fun game. But, like, when you get... I'm at Master Rank 23, and it's become normal, but the grind is very grind. Oh, that... I can't say I get said to that very often. Which will be most of the day. Like, when I wake up, I play Warframe, and then before I go to bed, I play Warframe. Before the stream, I play Warframe. The only times I log off is when I have to do things like feed the cat, clean its litter box, or other things away from the computer. Even then, I tend to just kind of stay logged on and AFK inside my orbiter. But yeah, that'll be most of the day. And, I mean, I could even stream with you too. That'd be fine. I mean, someday I have to finish Dark Souls 2, then get on to the certain other game, which I haven't revealed yet on stream at least. Oh gosh, there's two. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, both the Extra Life and Wikidot kind of mentioned that there's like a small chance that one spawn point will spawn two of them. So even if I try to be careful and avoid triggering two spawns, I can still get two regardless. Which is just fuck. There goes my Prism Stones too, which is a good thing I got 99. Should be a tightly kept secret, Schmuff. I know that for a couple of weeks, what was it? It was like around New Year's, a bit before New Year's. I was slipping into nocturnal, and I'm just like nocturnal sleeping habits. It's like, you know what? I'll just stay up all day and like force it to cycle, and I got it to cycle, but something else broke, and I could only sleep for like 2 REM cycles any given day, which meant I was not getting enough sleep, and I felt fine, but I noticed that I was highly, highly irritable. Like, my threshold for I'm gonna stab that dude was greatly lowered. So I decided to, like, not stream, so that way I can, if I happen to get sleepy, well, A, because I had no idea what kind of a stream I'd put on at that point, whether I'd be completely angry or completely tired or something. And B, if I ever got really exhausted during that period, I could just go to sleep instead of being like, I have to finish stream. And it took me like half a month to go back to sleeping normal. And now I'm on more of a fixed schedule, so I'm going to sleep like an hour or two after stream ends. And I get up in the morning, and that's that. And it's been like that for Maybe 2 weeks now. And it's helped. I mean, the stress hasn't helped, just like the uncertain future type of stress. But I should just backstep the moment I hear one coming. Because I want to be absolutely sure I don't trigger two. Or at least as sure as I can. Jog required ahead is indeed right. I'll stop one prism stone off from the front, just in case it spawns a little early. You can see all the bloodstains. It's just not a nice place to be. Yeah, that's actually how I cycled for like the last decade. It started though with me staying up late to play with friends. It was Phantasy Star Universe on the Xbox 360. There was a really nice group of people I fell in with on that MMO. And I'd just stay up to play with them, and before I knew it, like, oh, it's dawn. And my mom's getting up, and she'll be mad if I'm still awake right now. So let's go to sleep. And that kept happening repeatedly. So I'm like, alright. I can up just keep going to sleep at like the crack of dawn. And that became normal. So nocturnal. Yeah, well. Oh gosh, we already have two. Oh. Like, I want an angle that gives me just one, but like, what? Well, whether it's no omen or not, I did stay up an extra hour last night, but only last night, and I'm gonna be as sure as I can that I go to sleep early today. It's one of the nice things about the regimented sleep is that your body adjusts to it as well. So you actually get tired when you're supposed to go to sleep, as opposed to when I was cycling, where I was just tired, and I'd been up for 2 times the amount I had slept. Because I sleep for like maybe, if you sleep for more than 8 hours, that already equates to more than 24 hours of total time per day. So 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 8 is 24. You stay up for 9 hours and you're up for 18. And that's kind of how it would cycle. Kinda. You know what, I think I'll just follow the line like here. Just to say parallel to this little wall. It'll give me the one spawn. It still gets me, even though I do a back roll. It's bullshit. And you can't do a side roll because that charge can turn 90 degrees at the very last frame. And you can't do a front roll because it has a continuous hitbox of I think its entire body, so you can't do that. And if you roll backwards, it just continues the charge. Like, fuck. The wiki said it takes 3 blizzard cycles for the spawn to refresh. So yeah, Sisyphean grind is right. This is going to be grindier than Warframe. I still have a soul splat somewhere out there. Somewhere. To try to kamikaze around, I thought like, yeah, I can make this. I've been through this before. I did it to the boss. And I succeeded. But I didn't succeed. And now there's about 44k souls on the line. I'm sure I'll get that much just on the way, killing all these horses, but I gotta be sure I don't die. Yeah, I think I could stream Warframe on the regular. Before I was concerned that it'd be like too monotonous, but I think I'm chill enough about it that yeah, I could play Warframe and talk about other things and have like more in-depth conversation. I have to focus all that often. And also, I have enough stuff that could maybe keep it interesting to watch too. The only thing that's really somewhat important is what Warframe you start with. Which I will talk about after I kill this thing. Yeah, that's why you don't stay behind him. Okay, so... What you'll want to know is that if you do have a bit of spare money, you'll probably end up spending it on platinum. Just because while you can grind out most things in the game, you have to buy inventory slots for with the premium currency, platinum. And like you can trade for it in game. If you grind out some stuff to sell, you can do that, but they give you 50 plat to start with. Definitely save all of it for inventory slots. What else was I gonna say? I've kind of jumbled up the order of what I was going to say things. So I still haven't spent a cent on Warframe, by the way. So you don't have to, but those inventory slots are going to be a real bitch at the beginning. In terms of resources, you have infinite supply. It's just equipment, like your Warframe slots and your weapon slots, and your pet slots are all limited. You have to buy more of those. But the important decision to make at the beginning is what Warframe you start with. Because while you can get all 3 Warframes through methods in-game that aren't like starter locked like in Pokemon, but because you're a new player, it's going to be that first Warframe you choose, you're going to be stuck with for a long time. A very long time. They're all good Warframes, by the way. None of them are particularly bad, but you might have more fun with one over the other. And it's going to be hard to tell since you haven't played with any of them, and you can't, like, renege on your decision. Because at the start in the tutorial, when you get to choose between whether you want, like, an assault rifle or a bow, you can go back and actually swap them out. the game doesn't stop you from doing that, but the Warframe, you're locked in. As soon as you make that first decision, you are locked into it until you get the other Warframes the regular way. There were three starting Warframes. Was Excalibur, Mag, and Volt. In the in-game descriptions, the game recommends Excalibur to new players. Uh, as I said, none of them are bad frames, but I'd say it'd be more helpful if they said what kind of play style you want, because descriptions aren't fully accurate anymore. Excalibur is highly melee oriented. Like you're not really going to be using your guns if you're playing as Excalibur. You'll instead be using your melee weapon, and you'll still have your gun, mind you. It's just your melee weapon's going to be a lot more effective as Excalibur. Ah, actually, the next time we get two, I could log off Dark Souls 2 and show you a bit of the three Warframes. Because I have all three of the starter Warframes. So I can show you how they play. For a short description, Excalibur is very melee focused, like highly melee focused, in fact, to the point where you may never use your guns at all. Mag is the version of that, highly gun focused. You may still use your melee weapon, but it'd be very rare compared to your gun. And she's also very good at CC. Volt is like a bit of an in-between. You can use both melee and gun. And definitely more versatile, I guess, suite of abilities compared to the other two. This Mag is very CC oriented, but her stuff tends to synergize best with guns, while Excalibur is entirely melee oriented. He does have some CC, mind you, but it's like he's a swordsman through and through. Yeah. Yeah. And Volt is, oh boy, how to describe Volt, because he's kind of all over the place. I mean, he's really viable even endgame. Like, for some of the endgame grinds, people actually want Volt specifically. He can be used as a nuke frame, as a support frame, also as just a bit of if you want to do both gun and sword play. Then I guess you could go Volt as well. Oh, okay. Surprised none came out at that point. Yeah, Volt. Yeah, I guess the one caveat though about them is that it won't be until maybe mid-game that you get reliable ways to heal your HP. You have shields and health, and it won't be until that mid-game that you start getting some HP restoring mods or other methods to do so. Mag and Volt have low health pools but high shields, while Excalibur is a 50-50. Excalibur also has armor, and armor only applies to health, so Excalibur is kind of the more durable of the three, arguably. Shields are actually good early games. I think everything's pretty low damage, but like late game, because shields don't have damage production from most sources, they get torn through real quickly. Yeah, I could probably give you some spare mods and maybe even like an extra warframe. No, I don't think about the warframe though, because a little bit of a silly thing is that certain items are mastery locked for trades, so you need to be a certain master rank to use some stuff, and you can't even trade for it until you are able to use it. So, like, I could save a spare warframe for you, but I wouldn't be able to trade you the blueprint until you're of rank. So, like, there goes that whole idea. Because I could give you an extra option at the start. Otherwise... I have not been counting how many times I've killed them. Yeah, there is also in-game voice chat, but I have that turned off because you don't want to have a bad quality mic yelling at you just randomly. Call of Duty on the 360 should have given you plenty of experience on that. I'll wait one more Blizzard cycle. Yeah, I think there's 44 frames total, and a lot of them have Prime variants. Uh, so the Prime variants are really just slightly upgraded versions. The abilities are the same, but like their core stats, like their armor and their health values can be a little higher. I also get some extra mod polarities, which is helpful. It's really helpful, actually. I think I've already made back the souls I spent on Prism Stones. Yeah. Actually, I wonder how many frames I have. A good tip, though, is to not sell your warframes. I know they may start clogging up your slots, and you'll end up... You may be sorely tempted to sell one that you don't use to make for space, but you should hold on to them. For a couple of reasons. For one, you can actually... There's infinite space in your foundry, by the way, so when you craft stuff in your foundry, and it's done, and it says you should go claim it, there's no time limit on that. Like, those completed items can sit in your foundry for the next 500 years, and they'd still be there. So you have pseudo-infinite inventory that way. So make all the stuff you want, you just can't claim it until you have inventory for it. The other reason is a kind of mid to late game thing you get called the Helminth that allows you to sacrifice your warframes, and it gives you one ability from that warframe that you can then put onto your other warframes as like a replacement, which can make some bad warframes you're having a bad time with all of a sudden be a good time. Yeah, Avara is very popular. I like Avara too, though not recently. Recently, I've just been kind of having a lot of upfront, just go through and smash stuff, and Avara is not the greatest at that. She's pretty frail for a warframe. But she is fun still. Very good stealth frame. Okay, I'm gonna count this as like 2 Blizzard cycles, and again wait for the third. and then I'll see if the thing spawns again, because if it doesn't spawn, then we continue forwards. Yay! That'd be one spawn down. I don't know how many are left. That's 10 kills per spawn. I called this Sisyphean, did I not? Ah, well, Mag is female. Bolt and Excalibur are male. Oh, I think there might be. Gone. Gone. Done. Gone. We hope this way. Oh boy. A true monarch. Alright, I guess we can start moving forwards. Bit by bit. Hopefully I don't get ambushed by like 2, because that'd just fucking suck. I haven't looked at the time recently. So do tell, how many hours have I put into Warframe? Well, how many hours have been logged into Warframe, because that also counts AFK time. Wow, might have actually cleared a spawn then. Ah, that's not that big of an improvement. Wow, that's why mine actually covered a large, vaster range, because that's quite the line I'm making. At this rate, we may or may not actually get to Warframe. If I make it to that building in the distance, then we'll go to Warframe. Because if I know I have a straight line to that building, then we cool. I don't need to keep the prism line anymore. Yeah, I put in, I think, about 2,000 hours into Oblivion as a kid. And I don't know how much now, but it's probably 640, I think, into the... Last time I remember looking at the time, for just my character time, Oblivion was like 640 hours. Ugh. Yeah, that's quite a line. It's not straight, but it's a line. Did I really... Like, how big are the spawn zones? Because it's been a long time since I've seen an ice stallion, and it has me on edge. Okay, I just got ahead of myself. I'm gonna wait here. Skyrim was just a few hundred hours in the PS3. Because it, like, after playing Oblivion, Skyrim really did feel like a downgrade. My word, we might go through half of our Prism Stones just to get to the halfway point. You see, I considered just putting down a Prism Stone each time I encountered a beast, but I do not have time to put down a Prism Stone when it's charging at me, and after I retreat, to a known safe spot to kill it. I'm then not entirely sure where I was when I encountered it, so that's why I'm doing this long ass line. Because this is just guaranteed I know where I encountered it. Oblivion did add voice acting. Actually, it seems like Oblivion had a better... I forget what it was. I think it was that they fleshed out the NPCs just a little bit more. Like, I remember one video I watched on talking about Morrowind in depth, was the fact that they ended up reusing a lot of the same conversations and stuff in Morrowind. I mean, they kind of did in Oblivion too, but it was a bit more personalized. While Morrowind is just like, you talk to one NPC and you've kind of talked to all of them. Hi. Hi. Now I'm like misaligned with it. Okay. Huh. Wouldn't surprise me. They did have 10 voice actors for the entirety of Oblivion. I'm starting to get lulled into a sense of security right now. I feel like there won't be any more horses until we reach there, or at least get most of the way. Yeah, we are. Oh, some of the old prism stones are disappearing. Oh no, however, will I find my way back? Yeah, start despawning. Oh well. Use over half our prism stones. Yeah, that's getting pretty close. That feels very on point for the Greek. I'll just say that. Yeah, he is pretty good. I'm tempted to just try sprinting this last length and see if I get any horses in the blizzard, but I know I should not be that cocky. That's how you die. I think there's like a scuff or like a hoof print sound as part of just the regular blizzard cycle. And it just, yeah, spooks me almost every time. If the wizard picks up, I hear that little part of the background noise and like, oh no, a horse is coming. I know, right? I mean, if you stay healthy, you will look really young when you're old. Not sure how long you'll live, but you'll definitely retain your youthful appearance. Yeah, that's pretty close. It's like a sprint away. my word, this is a lot of... I've already spent 25k worth of prism stones on this. Oh my. Oh, hi, Alyssa. Oh yeah, baldness actually does play a factor, because if you don't see your gray hair, you tend not to think they're that old. See, all these bloodstains appear, which makes me think there's another horse spawn nearby. Or they just ran past. Gosh, I almost mistook that phantom for a nice stallion. A tubby knight with a katana. Yeah, that's pretty close. Whenever I'm on a prism stones, I'm just going to sprint to it during a blizzard and see what I get. I shouldn't keep advancing outside the blizzard, though, because then smirkings kind of lose their meaning. And out of soul gem. Out of soul gems. Out of prism stones. Deepest skinny. Okay, so now I know a straight shot to the door. And I'll just jog there. Just jog, bring a blizzard. Come on, pick up. Pick up so the horses can spawn. Okay. Oh my, clearing that one spawn covered the entirety of the path. That's wonderful. Now I need more prism stones. That actually gives me a good deal of hope, knowing that the spawn zones cover a wide area like that. Means I clear out one spawn and I'm safe for a while.
It seemed why just be
Okay. That's like everything we got.
it seems that why now?
Yeah, I don't care. Oh, they're gone. Okay. Let's slap those back on. But I'm about to go to Warframe. Oh no. Oh yeah, still play it with the controller. Don't need to set it aside for that long. Cert. Yes. Sleep is for the weak. Gosh, one of the guilds was in ESO, that was a common saying. Common joke, half joke, honestly.
Thank you for returning to me,
Ah,
operator.
Oh, there's 20% off? Okay.
I've been taking time to work on me.
Oh yeah, that's a Koopa which I've been ignoring for the past month. Okay. Yeah, it can be. 40 minutes to stream? Okay, that doesn't leave me too much time. What loadout? Work with. Starting loadout is one I use for a lot of stuff. Alright, so Vara mentioned. Uh, where was it? Oh yeah, Excalibur Umbra. So you, you do some late game quests or late in the star chart quests, and you'll get Excalibur Umbra, an upgrade version of Excalibur. So yeah, there's that. You can do it, I think, as early as maybe MR7? Or is it 5? You'd have to kind of rush through the game, though, to get them that early. Mag. Actually, I haven't used Mag. I've noticed if they aren't primed versions of the Warframes, I haven't used them in a while, like Volt. Volt's also not primed. I have some of his prime parts, but they're pretty rare to come by.
Operator, I've run diagnostic regressions.
Alright,
All
so
systems nominal. You don't need to thank me.
let's see. Slap on. Yeah, you'll start off with a sword, so may as well. I like the Axomati. Really do. And I do have the Attica, which I like, but oh, the flamethrower. Alright, now then, I guess solo, and I'm not quite sure what mission to do to highlight Excalibur's whole deal. Actually, I did subsume one of his abilities. Alright, I guess I'll show that now. Gotta be quick, because you gotta go to sleep at some point, but like... Oh, basic ones can be just as good. There's some frames that don't have prime versions. Uh, I didn't deliberately choose to not play unprimed frames. I just kind of noticed that. Gauss does not have a prime version, and Wisp doesn't have a prime version, and they're some of my favorite ones. Zephyr, though, is primed. Uh, right. The thing with prime frames that you should do absolutely is. Let's see if I go to here and then upgrades. Notice in actions, there's the Orican reactor, and it doubles your mod capacity, which is this number here that these mods consume. Only install those on prime frames, because if you install it on a normal frame, then eventually you'll get the prime variant, and then you've wasted a very rare item or 20 platinum if you chose to buy it, because you're not going to use the regular version again if you have a prime version. And that's kind of the only thing to really... Oh, and Forma too, because Forma... So there's these stuff where it's green. That's because... Oh, I can't show it to you. Ah, here we are. So it's green here. So like Prime Flow takes up 14 capacity, but if you put it on the matching shape, it takes up half capacity. So the Forma lets you polarize. You can spend these to basically change the symbol on each of these slots so you have less mod capacity. So effectively you can get up to quadruple mod capacity. I tend to go with green themes for the most part. Right, so this is the helmet section. You won't get it for a long time unless you know how to get it and rush for it.
A strange design. Why would I be built with such a flaw?
So you can feed this thing warframes, and then you can put those warframe abilities on your frame. Like I currently have Ember's Fire Blast on Excalibur here. Because I will tell you that Excalibur's third ability, his Radial Javelin, is one of the worst abilities in the game. They make it look cool in the video, and it does feel cool to use, but it deals really low damage for what it is. Like, it should deal a lot more damage, or at least go through walls, but it doesn't do either. So I replaced it with Ember's thing. That's the only thing different about my Excalibur, aside from what you'll have. You just have other AoE abilities. Radio Blind, which might not seem useful at first, but it's actually really useful. Because, I mean, it stuns them, it blinds them, and it opens them up to stealth attack finisher, so you can insta-kill, like, the whole group, one by one. Oh, do not want to do that. Oh, it's about to expire anyways. Wait, Strong Wraith. Yeah, I don't have that. Okay. Showcasing this then. Yeah, about Hunter's Green. Oh yeah, color palettes you need to spend plat on. They give you one single column in the default color palette to use at the start, and you have to spend like 75 plat or $5, basically, to get them. If I have enough plat, I can maybe gift you a pack.
We need to destroy the reactor. The reactor will have tight security. Watch out for enemy patrols.
Melee weapons are not restricted, neither are weapons.
Critical that you don't
Oh right, they're allies because it's invasion. The only thing that's like restricted by Warframe are your abilities. And of course the stats that are inherent to the Warframe, you know, like the health, armor, and shield distribution. So yeah, you can put the flamethrower and the sword on any Warframe. Excalibur's passive is if he's wielding a sword, and there are a few weapon subtypes that are classed as swords. It deals 10% more damage and attacks 10% faster. So he does get bonuses to melee. Slash dash. It's, despite how it looks, it's actually a cone AoE, where you dash to enemies inside the cone. A bit hard to get them. You have to be grouped, like, yeah, like that, where it strikes two at a time. If it doesn't kill them and knocks them down, which is good CC, you also cannot take health damage while you're in the animation. You can still take shield damage. Yeah, as long as they're... The cone's width is unspecified, not even the wiki knows how large it is. And there's that, which... whatever. They're blind to me, so they can't see me, which means they won't attack me. And of course they get initially. And there we are. Self-attack finisher. So with that, you just build for range and duration, and they can be blinded all the time, and you can just stab them in the back. Which is why it's a lot better than Radio Javelin, which deals less damage and uses more energy.
That's the reactor. Expose its core and destroy it.
Then Excalibur's main thing, which we'll probably build him for, is his Exalted Blade. This shoots shockwaves. It comes with its own moveset. And this thing deals like a shit ton of damage, too. I mean, this thing deals so much damage, you can honestly kill bosses faster than you can blink if you build it right. So it consumes energy per second. You can build for duration. Oh, and the shockwaves punch through, so they do go through walls. And of course, if you do a slash dash with the Exalted Blade out, the slash dash does a shockwave as well. You can use slash dash for mobility as well. Oh, a Heavier bead. I didn't get to show off the third ability, but that doesn't matter because it's not part of Excalibur's kit. Alright, next will be Mag. Welcome back. I just want to double check what the mod config is on this.
Return covered in blood. Safe and sound.
I think Arcane Barrier should be fine. Yeah, different warframe, same guns. Oh, it's capture now. Alright. Invasion missions cycle their type every, I think, 15 minutes. You complete them 3 times for a side, and they give you some stuff when the invasion's over. Oh, this gun's actually not going to be too great. This should be good with Mag, though.
Must find, capture, and extract our target.
So,
Alright.
Corpus are just a cult, worshipping money.
Alright. Mag is a bit more energy heavy. Let's see, how am I going to showcase these? Your first is a pull. It's force pull. It's 360 degrees. This is why you might use melee, because you can pull them into melee range with that.
We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down.
Their second they'll be using a lot is this, which is any bullets that you shoot into this will become those streaking lines that then go through whatever enemies they suck up. And yeah, this can pull in multiple enemies. That's really her main ability, because with that you can lay down a lot of DPS with your guns. And plus it kind of, you know, covers for you, because they're trying to shoot at me, but get sucked up. And they get sucked up too. That strips their armor and creates some armor. Oh, you gotta capture this guy first. Yeah, you can. I only have increased strength in there, which increases the pull. So enemies who get nearby should get sucked into it more easily, but you can also make this sphere larger. Yeah, like it sucks in 2 guys. And then if I do that, and then that... Yeah, so the armor shards I remove from them by casting this act as projectiles inside the sphere, so they cause damage too. And then the final bit, some of the kill boxes when you go out of bounds are a bit tight. 4th one is that. If you build for range and strength, that'll be what you want for this. There's no duration to that. Ooh. Oh, I don't have enough energy. Now I should. In terms of DPS, it's not her best move, but it's definitely satisfying. Figure what the extra effects of this are. It might remove armor as well. Yeah, I wonder if the flamethrower actually works with this. Oh. Oh, it does. Cool. I'm wondering if it could redirect the flames, but it does. Oh yeah, Mag's also good at the beginning, because... actually, I'll give you the mod if I have spares when you start playing. So that's not master restricted. But there normally you have to walk over a piece of loot to pick it up, but there's like some pet mods you can get that increase the range. So it's like 10, 12, 13 meters. But the thing is with Mag, her passive is that when she bullet jumps, does that whole spiral jump thing, it actually sucks in loot around her. Which, that's really helpful at the beginning when you don't have the mod. But I can give you the mod, so if you bear with it for a little bit. If you haven't seen a tile that much, they can be a bit hard to navigate. There we are. Sucking all of them, and then there you go. So that'd be mag. And yes, mag is fun. I don't really know why I haven't been playing on her more. And maybe I should just shell out the save up and shell out the plat for her prime version. Yeah, you can buy the prime versions directly from the developers, but it's kind of a ripoff if you do that. Just save up for buying the parts off of players and build it. It's overall way cheaper. Does take longer though. Alright, now how did I have Volt built? Radiation efficiency, strength. Alright. And you'll get barrier 2. Oh yeah, maybe I can show you what Volt's default colors are. Because I might... Yeah, and Volt's default colors. Oh, yeah, and also you mentioned you like Blade and Whips. I remember that, and you never actually got to see it. The City Lasseri. If you have money, I'd say shell it out for this, because the blueprint for this is worth 100 platinum right now. About, and the price will only go up over time. So, yeah. It's also the best one in its class as well. Kind of why it's so expensive. There's other ones you can get. Alright. So,
You must find, capture, and extract our
it's a
target.
hook tethered to a sword. Yep. There's the running combo, which does not have as much reach as the standing one. There's your tactical one where you throw it really far, then... Yeah. That is, and then the standing version is just that, which has CC to it.
We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down quickly.
Okay, so the passive with Volt is, as you can see, there's a little icon next to my shield and health in the upper right. This now says 1,000. Yeah, that basically adds electrical damage to your next attack, and it only increases as you move on the ground. There's an actual whip weapon class, but I figured you want to Blade and Whip more. Yeah, this is one. It's Chain Lightning. Yes, that's your first ability, Chain Lightning. Okay, second ability was Speed Boost, right? There are those who spec a lot into Strength. This increases both your movement speed and your attack speed. Yeah, I think that's actually what the passive is called. But yeah, at the beginning when you're not used to parkour, Volt's definitely good since his passive rewards you playing on the ground. Yeah. This is a shield. It does block incoming fire, and if you shoot through it, it adds electrical damage to your shots. And of course you can pick it up. It slows you down if you pick it up. And you can't use your primary, you have to use your secondary. You cannot make the shield larger, but you can make it last longer. It's time-based. Ah, you can melee with it, too. There isn't much reason to use the shield with melee, though, because you can block bullets with your melee. You don't need the shield to do that. If I can find...
We will counter.
whatever. So, yeah, with this one, like, you don't need to use your guns, because you can just chain it like that. And with this two... I mean, you can go really fast if you go for Strength with Volt. Really, really fast. After all, this one doesn't have a potato installed. And that's propagating chain lightning. I have to capture this guy, so I can't show you what it does.
Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive.
Yeah, the bow does have projectile speed. There are projectile weapons alongside hit scan. So, the thing with his 4 is that it's short range, but it stuns them in place and it spreads to nearby units. So it can actually cover a much larger radius than the initial amount if you can get them grouped up right. And because it continuously deals damage to them, self-propagating chain lightning basically, it can actually clear rooms, and that's how Volt ends up being a nuke frame, because you just kind of get into the center of a group, cast your 4, and, well, everything dies. Then you can be a support frame because you can lay down your shield, as well as buff speed. And if things... And just for funsies, you can cast a bit of chain lightning into groups. So he's the most versatile of the 3 starting frames. Very utility. And with a bit of nuke. Yeah, I had fun with Excalibur. He's the one that I chose first, but he definitely was getting tired by the time I had my second Warframe. Alright, other weapon types. So there are some more unique weapons, but I didn't really keep a lot of them. I keep the prime variants and ones that are particularly good, or at least that I have fun with, or unique in some way. If they're hard to get, or I like them, then I keep them. So not all of these are necessarily good guns, but they are all. Well, I did keep all the bows though. The bows are fun. I haven't been using bows lately, but they're fun. Oh, this one's a meta weapon, by the way, this bow. Okay. Basically, the arrow impacts, and then the arrow itself shoots out tentacles that then also damage and drag in enemies towards the arrow that's impacted in the wall. Or flesh. And then after a bit, the arrow itself explodes. Or you have more damage. It's kind of crazy. It's your sniper rifle. Another sniper. This is more of like a DMR. It has a fire modes. Single and full auto. Oh yeah, this is a new gun. Maybe you can buy this off of players, but you can't get it normally, as the event that you could get it from is ended. I haven't colored it. I like the spear gun. Scourge is one of my favorites. Alright, for melee weapons. So I think I have one of every type. I might be missing one type, but I should have everything. At least one of them. So, there's hammers. Well, two-handed hammers specifically. There's swords. There's sparring weapons, which use your hands and feet to attack. There's dual daggers. There's sword. There's sword and shield, although it's not always a sword, but there is always a shield. There's katanas, or as they're called, nakanas. There's stabs. There's the blade and whip. There's heavy blades, which consist of great swords and axes. There's a rapier, it's its own weapon type. There's fists, which use just your fists. There's the machete. There's the glaive, which is a throwing weapon, by the way, like a boomerang. There's the war fans. There are pole arms. There's scythes. There's daggers. There's nunchaku. There's dual swords. This is another hammer. This is actually a very, very bad hammer. If you get it early on, do so, because then it'll be useful then. And you use it as a crafting component for another hammer. That's why I have it. There's tonfas. Another pole arm, another glaive. Gun blades. There's gun blades. There's whips. Another gun blade. This one shoots shockwave instead of bullets. This one's a super shotgun with two blades on it. And this one is something sci-fi. It's another staff. There's weapons. The two-handed nakana. Claws are their own weapon type as well. More great swords, another glaive, hammer I've been training. And then there's other weapons. This isn't all the weapons, you can't buy them all, but you can buy most of them. Again, it's very expensive compared to just getting them regularly. But the thing is, if you buy them from DE, they do come pre-installed with Orokin reactors. So, it's still not totally worth the price. Like, if you just make the weapon and then buy an Orokin reactor, it's still a lot cheaper. Oh, well, I haven't gotten into one other thing about melee weapons, is that besides the types, there's also stances, which they determine your moveset. Let's see. Oh, wait. I know of a good spot. Also, a good way to show you Bolt's thing is 4. Let's see. Yeah, I what they call polearms, I'd be more inclined to call glaives. Like, I think of a glaive as a polearm that's designed for slashing. But in Warframe, they are throwing weapons, like bladed boomerangs. Alright. Simulacrum. Okay. No, let's go with 20 gunner, pause AI. Yeah. There. Oh wait, need more energy. Alright, cool. Okay, so what this 4 does is this. And this goes for like another 4 seconds. And it spreads to nearby enemies, so it's chaining multiple links in between each other. Chain lightning can go between a few. And it's like 200-ish. Pop up the shield. 250, 500 or so. Shield, it's also a... yeah. Shield increases damage. Oh, right. So what I like about the Scourge. So for one, this thing deals a lot of statuses. So it's very good at inflicting statuses. And also, it sees 29 out of there. If I sheath it, and then pop it back out, it's back at 40. It really was while it's holstered. which is amazing, but the part that really got me into it is they can throw it, and now they have bullet attractor fields around their heads. So I just use my full auto twin pistols while that thing pulses out the bullet attractor field. And I get auto headshots, basically, as long as I aim kind of near them. That's why I like the Scourge. Though the one downside is if you aim it too close, you get self-stagger because they are exploding shots. Yeah, I have a lot of frames. I don't have all the frames because there still are. This still also counts non-prime variants I can buy, but like there's still a good amount more I need to get. Alright, so... Okay, so I guess Penguin... Well, another thing to show you, I guess, is the fact that Excalibur might not be too fanciful. But he shreds. He fucking shreds through everything. And, remember, when you blind them, you get a stealth attack bonus. Whether you're in stealth or not. So, Excalibur can do a lot of damage. He's more of a berserker type of frame. Right, so this is Swooping Falcon. As I said, their stances. But you take the same weapon. And hop on Crimson Dervish. Yeah, I mean, you can, as I said earlier, you can get all three Warframes with. And then Crimson Dervish, and you have a different attack set with different attack values too. So on top of there being different weapon types, there's also different stances, different stance polarities too. So that's just... This is just swords. Blade and Whip, I think, just has one stance, though. Some weapon types only have one stance. Tonfa have, like, a few. Just a couple. Yeah, there's Gemini Cross and Sovereign Outcast. That'll be Gemini Cross. There's attack speed upgrades, so you're not going to be attacking this slow all the time. You'll probably be attacking faster than your eyes can even track once you get some good speed mods going. Because there's no enemies, and also just to showcase the moves. It is what it is. Oh, I haven't actually used Sovereign Outcast yet. At least not extensively. So yeah, different moves on the stances have different properties. Like you can get forced slash status effects as like guaranteed slash status effect on certain moves or guaranteed impact status, as well as guaranteed knockdown or lift effects. So you have to look up on the wiki or just try things out in game if you want to learn what those are. I just look up on the wiki the different stances. This says Reaping Spiral, and the other one was Stalking Fan that I've never used. I got it, and I'm like, yeah, that's rare, but like I don't have any sides that match the polarity. I don't have mod capacity because installing a stance or melee weapon will increase the mod capacity. If it matches the polarity, you get an extra 6. At least at max rank. That's slower. Running is faster though, and that's a lot of... Wow. Yeah, this is a very rare stance, by the way. I got this off of the Stalker, who is an assassin that hunts you if you kill bosses. Redeemer Prime was fun. There are 2 stances for this, I only have 1. Because I'm using controller, it's a bit hard to do the advancing move. Hold on. Because you have to hold down ADS to do the alternate move. I think what's officially called the tactical moveset. And because it's ADS, it'll switch me to my gun. If you hold down weapon swap, it'll permanently switch you to your melee weapon. So now you have to manually block instead of auto block. Then the tack standing is just sword strikes. This is honestly pretty damn fun. And the heavy attack on these, your stance won't change the heavy attack, but just to show you. Yeah, the heavy attack for ground blades is just to shoot them. And the Stropha, this thing, I ended up buying it. You could farm for it. I think the default loadout is what I think it is. Just a heavy attack build, because if it's heavy attack build... Yeah. The Stropha is one of the most broken weapons in the game right now, because it deals a shit ton of damage. Only point blank, though, because it shoots shockwaves instead of bullets. Man, what else to show? I guess polearms. I have 2 polearms. Different stance polarities. So the Guandao Prime, the Shimmering Blight. There's not much more to the moveset. It's just this twirling and sleeping attack for the tactical rush. ADS or moving forwards. You can move freely while doing this, which is the advantage of it, but it's effective, but it's not very not much variety. There was Orthos Prime, which does this have Shimmering Blade too? Yeah, there's like 3 stances for this. For polearms. A Bleeding Willow. Oh, so just a different... Huh. Yeah. Actually, let me check. It doesn't showcase the combos, but it does tell you what the button presses are. It's just a different leaping. And then Twirling Spire. This one's actually like very different. Actually has different standing and running attacks, as well as its own standing attack combo and attack rush too. This is like a full-fledged moveset. I know Dual Blades has like 3 stances, I think. Swords have 4 stances, although one of them doesn't match polarity on most of the higher level swords, so... Higher level swords? Well, the better swords, I suppose. The Sword and Shield, this is one of my favorites. Oh, there's 2 stances for Sword and Shield. There's Final Harbinger, which has the whole backflip and it's pretty high DPS. Running combo. Then the attack stuff is all shield strikes. This one lifts with the final bash. Alright, good night, Sobit. Look forward to seeing you in Warframe. And you've gotten a taste. There's unique range, unique melee. And unique for Warframes. And a hell of a lot of grind. Alright, it being 21:31. I never got to show off my favorite frames, but that doesn't matter. I can just show it to him later. Oh, and I missed Smith's goodbye. Oh, is that who? Yeah, okay. Alright. If he plays Warframe, then my goodbye still has effect. I'm used to there being like 1 or 2 of you in chat, so I don't read names. Not normally, anyways. And there is 11th Storm, which is more intermixed sword and shield strikes in the same combo, except for the running, which is all sword strikes. They both have shield throws, by the way. The standing tactical combo on 11th Storm has a shield throw in it, and it's the advancing tactical on Final Harbinger. It has a shield throw. It's a vertical instead of horizontal. What else? Oh, alright, sparring weapons I like. There's 2 stances for these. There's Brutal Tide and Grim Fury. I like Grim Fury more. Yeah, just the sliding attack, though, on sparring weapons. The double... rolling into a double kick. And that actually lifts. Or kills them entirely. Either one. But yeah, that sends them flying. The standing combo, there's a little leg sweep. That knocks them down. Oh, then the heavy attack is just a ground slam. And that lifts too. Actually, here, let me show you what a lift actually means. It lifts them. They're ragdoll in the air. But yeah, I am fond of sparring weapons. And there's Brutal Tide. Brutal Tide has less combos to it. I think it's just 2. Hi there, Anthony. Pretty late. Well, that doesn't quite matter here. So yeah, this is it. Like with Shimmering Blight, it's just the standing and running. I've already got Berserker in front. I this slows down, you can get a better look, but you're basically breakdancing. 10 seconds left. Okay. Now we're slowed down. Yeah, there's people who like this. For me, I just don't think it advances forward enough. And I also really like the leg sweep in Grim Fury. Yeah, a lot of people do. Then there are Arcanas, which have their own little idle stance. Actually, the stance mod I have actually changes the idle stance as well as the stealth attack finisher animation too. It's Blind Justice, which wields the katana reverse grip. So it's short range, fast, and powerful. Of course, you can have mods to increase range, so you can get rid of that. Then aside from that, oh yeah, Excalibur Umbra comes with the Skiajati, by the way, which is a pretty good Nikana itself. It's second only to Nikana Prime. Spine Justice, there is Tranquil Cleave. Like, I want to like it, but it's really too slow for its own good. They're powerful strikes, but just like that huge delay there before you really start stabbing. That actually kills all the DPS you have. Makes this one of the lowest DPS stances, even if those stabs and the cuts afterwards are incredibly powerful. You attack with a sheath, though, in this one. And then Decisive Judgment when I don't feel like being a super weeb. The Blind Justice actually is, I think it's the better stance overall. It gives you more DPS and more procs. The short range is an issue, but as I said, if you slap on a reach mod, you fix that. Great Swords I also like. It's a bit of a tough call between Galatine Prime and Grand Prime, though. Let's see. You have two different stances on them. Temporeal on Grand Prime. Alright. Wish you well too, Soviet, and I'll see you in game. And then Galatine Prime. Which I think I have Cleaving Whirlwind on there. Nope, it's Temporeal. Okay. There's 3 stances for it. Because of stance polarities, I only have 2 I can use. The Rending Crane, which is more so for axes. And this is why I generally don't use Cleaving Whirlwind, because it's a very simple spin to win. I'll just get stuff back to where it should be. That was formatting my hammer. Like an end credits kind of end? No. No, there is not. In terms of like an end goal, Mastery rank 30 is the highest you can go. And beyond that, there's just, getting more stuff. Playing more of the game. So I guess no, not really. But the big goal is MR30. Alright, so gas. Oh boy, why I like gas so much. A few reasons. Redline buff. Kinetic plating makes me immune to the most common damage types. Not the exotic ones, though. I'm shooting at little sparks. See? And they actually... They go out at random when there's nothing to aim at, but if there's something to aim at, they shoot out straight towards them. This also increases my attack speed. I don't have a gun equipped. And then there is Thermal Thunder. Can make it ice or get hot or cold. Fire just does a lot of damage. Cold freezes them in place. I combine them together and they get Blast, which removes all of their armor, all of their damage reduction, while also either pulling them towards me or pushing them away, depending on the order. Cold and hot. Then there's Mach Rush. You can do little dashes, or you can hold it down and just keep sprinting. And when you hit something, you send out you make an explosion. Just knock stuff down. Alright, here should be good. He's fun. And here with Sobit gone, I will go back to Dark Souls Zwei for the remaining time. Yeah, there's gotta be some more messages I missed back here. I got most of them. I just mixed up who was saying goodbye. Feel a little awkward and bad about that. Yeah, a lot of high-ranking, like high master rank players, veteran players, tend to take hiatus from Warframe. Another 15-ish minutes. I go until 2200. I may go longer if there's like cause to, but generally end at 2200. And over the past couple of nights, I've been watching videos past 2200 mark. But not doing that tonight. Two hours total, from start to finish. Now, I love just run through the blizzard knowing that there's no ice stallions on this path, but like, where would I be going? And if I go the wrong way, I get ice stallions. some reason I have slightly less health than I should. Like there's a little tiny nick missing from my max health. And I rested a bonfire and it's gone, and when I loaded in it was gone. I don't know what's up with that. Well, I've already beaten them. It's just I did like a kamikaze run to the end to beat them. So now I still have to get the items, and I don't have any phantoms to help me. And this is going to be a long and agonizing road. Alright, this straight path should be clear. Should be. I feel like I might have passed my point. Oh no, I'm still in. Yeah. That would explain it. Anyway, the stuff you get from the King's Pet, though, is nice. This sword and the shield. The shield gives you HP regen. Same as the Ring of Regeneration. It stacks with it. And the sword is, well, it's a great sword. Faster sword, specifically. It's pretty long. Doesn't roll in. Oh, it's stab. Wait, was the bastard sword a stab too? I forget. Two-handed though. It's a straight sword. A hybrid moveset. Dex weapon. Like, fully dex weapon. I think it has like an E strength scaling and an S dex. Not what I need against these ice stallions though. Yeah, not so good at the clipping like with the Zwei-hander. Yeah, like I can try to nick them with this, like what I do with the Zwei-hander, but the thing is the follow-up attack does not touch my right side at all. It's only left side. And I have to be pretty high up to nick them with on the left side with the first strike. So, no axles and such for this. Alright, now I need to decide on a path. There's also the guy out there. Oh, and there's my souls. Hmm. Alright, let's get on with this. My bloodstain. Orange burr. Oh, here they are. Temporarily boost fire. You want yellow burrs. Actually, no, I shouldn't advance forwards. There's not a blizzard. is. It's fairly far out. As compared to the first house. Yeah, it's like almost 10 prism stones out. Hmm. Oh, the guy I killed just dropped one. Really? Ah. Wow, I must have picked it up and not looked at it. I tend to do that. You pick up so many items that you just stop reading descriptions. It catches your eye, but generally you're like, hit A, mash A. Alright, now I wait for it to respawn, and we have to kill it 10 times. So if you've got something else to talk about that's not Dark Souls 2, this would be a good time. It's just going to be a lot of waiting. Oh, there's two. There's two. Sorry. I feel like blitzkrieging it to my souls. I feel like just maybe I could do that and get away with it. A little bit. Nerva bought me a version of Minecraft. He mentioned that there's like the Java and the Microsoft version and they can't play together. Or something. I forget which version he got for me. I played a little bit of it. I think I'd have to try it truly on my own to decide if it really hooks me or not, because there wasn't too much staying power when I play with other people. Because I tend to adapt my pace to those I'm playing with, as opposed to leading. Which, I mean, that just means I'm not actually enjoying the game as fully as I could. And despite Nerva and I sharing many tastes and similar thoughts, he tends to go at games at a much faster pace than I do. Yeah, I do have a copy of Minecraft, and I think it's modded. We did go through together setting up a mod folder and installation. The ATL launcher, I think. I still have that folder on my desktop. I don't know. Whenever I played Minecraft, I couldn't help but compare it to Terraria, which is a game that I played a lot of on PlayStation 3. And while I do own it for PC, I haven't played it that much just because I had my fill back on the console. I know I've watched a bunch of Minecraft, specifically Japanese Minecraft videos. So I have some idea of how Minecraft goes. Yeah, that is kind of true. Thing is, like, I want to go on the adventuring side, but I end up on the base building side. Because I adapt myself to other people and fill the gaps, as they were. And not bold and selfish enough to speak up and say, no, I want to do the thing that I want to do. And instead just go, alright, I'll just get this done as fast as possible, I have nothing else to do, and then I can go do the thing I want. Or play by myself. Maybe it's something I can work on. And Nerva doesn't really watch the streams. He doesn't... like myself, he doesn't quite see the point in watching streams. Doesn't derive much joy from it. Yeah, the base building was nice. It was neat, but like if that's the only thing, I don't know. I think he just went trying to go through it a bit too fast for me. Either he forgot to explain some stuff, or he didn't think he needed to, which actually would fall under forgot to explain. Didn't quite feel like I was working with a full kit, I suppose. Knowledge, that is. Because I think we were in, like, at least semi-creator mode. I should have cast heal, honestly. That should last, like, maybe 20 or 30 seconds. There it is. Ow. Am I ever going to, like, successfully dodge that? And poof out. Aha! Yeah, I'd probably end up looking up stuff. That'd be for the best. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we tried setting that stuff up. I don't know. I did start getting work on a basement before we stopped for the day.
Until
And then I thought to build a sky bridge like you do in Terraria. Terraria is all 2D, and it's like you want to build a sky bridge at some point. The bridge that spans from one edge of the world to the other goes straight through the tower of a base you've now built. That's a lot more involved than Minecraft. That would be a sky layer, I suppose. Still a sky bridge. No, it's 158. I have my souls back and they're spent now. I have less to lose. Kinda don't want to go out there for... I've lost a bit of my motivation now that I've gotten back what I lost. Just a bit, though. Still gotta get the ring and the upgrade materials out there. Ah, haha, yes. Every now and again, like maybe once every week or two, I'll think that I want to play Terraria again, but never lasts long enough for me to go and boot it up. Yeah, I had my fill of the game. I know it's changed a lot since then, but it tends to be when I think of a game as done, I tend to not ever have an urge to play it again. Even if I boot it up, I just don't want to play. Maybe Terraria will be different. I could try to get back into it if I start to view it as a new game. Or if it's been like 10 years, in the case of Oblivion. No, I think this here will do. So, thank you for watching. Minecraft will not be next, but maybe in the future. When the heck would a Minecraft stream end?